Everybody out there, this is Seto, and today for you guys I'm going to be doing an update of my Blue Eyes White Dragon deck. The deck has changed somewhat from the last time I profiled the deck a couple of months ago, and you guys have said to me before on my channel that you don't mind me uploading consistent Blue Eyes White Dragon deck profiles because we all love Blue Eyes White Dragon. I know a lot of you guys out there love Blue Eyes White Dragon just as much as I do. So I try to show you what I'm playing, what I'm trying out, because this has been my main deck I've been playing this current format. And as we are heading into the new year, I thought this would be a perfect time to do an update of the deck profile. So without further ado, I will get into the deck profile. The deck is 42 cards. There's a reason it's 42 is because I do run one Pod Desires in the deck, which I got my hands on. So thank you to the person that sold me that for very cheap. But yes, without further ado, guys, I'll get into the deck profile. It's gonna be a very comprehensive deck profile. So yes, I just want to go into depth and the different combo plays and everything if you guys are not familiar, and some new combo plays I've been working on in the deck. So without further ado, guys, let's get started. So first off, we have your 3 vanilla Blue Eyes White Dragon. I've had these since I started the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! Like I've told you guys, every time I do this deck profile. I've had these for over, I think, 14-15 years, since 2002, so what, 13-14 years it's been almost now. A long ass time, pretty much. But these are my babies. I love them. I love the original artwork. These are from the original Seto Kaiba structure deck. I love these. You run 3 of them. Then you run your 3 Blue Eyes Alternative Dragon. Blue Eyes Alternative Dragon helps you with your rank 3, your synchro plays, going into Blue Eyes Spirit Dragon and going into Blue Eyes Azure Dragon and other combos of that nature. He also helps you go into your level 8 Exceed plays, so like Hope Harbinger, Titanic Galaxy, and your other things. So very good card. When he is special summoned, you can pop a card on the field, but he can't attack that turn. That does suck, but sometimes you'll have a normal level 1 tuner, you can synchro up with him, or you'll be able to go into a level 8 Exceed play. Sometimes you don't use his ability right away, so he's a very, very good card to have. Do keep in mind though, that when you do special summon him and you reveal Blue Eyes at the same time, if your opponent is trying to chain Max C, to get the effect of Max C for them, they have to chain it to Melody of Awakened Dragons. They can't chain it to the special summon because the reveal and the special summon happen at the same time. They're simultaneous. So just so you guys know that, they have to chain the Max C to Melody if that's the way that's going. So 3 Blue Eyes Alternative Dragon. Next we run 2 Blue Eyes Spirit Dragon. That's a Dragon Spirit of the White, excuse me. I still keep calling it by its OCG name. Card's very versatile, very good card in general. It can help you banish back row, pendulum zones, whatever. The fact that sometimes I do use it, if they try to attack him, or I know my monster, I have a Blue Eyes in hand that's going to be bigger than that monster. I'll be like, okay, tribute this off, get a Blue Eyes White Dragon on the field. Now you can't get over this monster because your monster's too little. Just different little things. You kind of do some little trickery plays which make this card a little bit tricky that people don't see coming sometimes. It's a very nice card. Helps you go into your rank 8 plays, synchro plays. It's just a very good card, but 3 of is too much. 2 of is enough. As I clear my throat here. Next we have 3 White Stone of the Ancients. One of the best cards in the entire deck, I have to say. All these cards just work together, but Ancients is one of my favorite. Because the fact of the matter is it helps you special summon a Blue Eyes from your deck, which is really nice. So sometimes I'll bring out a vanilla Blue Eyes if it's going first turn and they have no back row. Sometimes I'll go for Blue Eyes Spirit Dragon, Blue Eyes White Spirit of the White, because if they have back row, I'll just banish a back row at the end of my turn. So it's very nice for that reason. One of the other reasons I love him, he's a level 1 tuner, so he helps you go for your synchro plays, but also the fact of the matter is, you can banish him from the graveyard to add a Blue Eyes White Dragon back to your hand, which makes trade-in more live, so that is amazing. If you draw a trade-in late in the duel and you have no level 8s in your hand, you just banish this guy from the graveyard, add a Blue Eyes back to your hand, and activate trade-in, which is really, really nice. We also run 1, the White Stone of Legend. There's a whole bunch of different combo plays I'll go into very quickly with this guy, but he's really helpful in a pinch. He helps keep your alternatives lives. If maybe you got a hand of alternatives, you send this guy to the graveyard, get a vanilla Blue Eyes to your hand, and that makes your alternatives live. He's just good overall to have in the hand as well, and just in the graveyard. He's just a nice card to have, as well as if you do go into Dark Matter Dragon, he's another target for Dark Matter Dragon, which is also nice as well. So those are all your white stone eggs. Then we have your 3 Stones of the Ancients. Excuse me, not White Stones of the Ancients. Sage with the Eyes of Blue. Hopefully this card will get a reprint. He's the most expensive card in the set right now with the entire deck, besides, you know, that's integral to the deck, that is. Not other cards like Strike and Desires. I'm talking integral pieces to the deck of Blue Eyes. So he's very good. He's kind of like a Stratos effect. When he is normal summoned, you can add a level 1 Light Tuner to your from your deck to your hand. So you have a whole bunch of targets in this variation of Blue Eyes. The White Stone of the Ancients, the White Stone of Legend, Blue Eyes White Maiden, which I still run in the deck, the Master with the Eyes of Blue, and Effect Veiler. All can be added from him. Also, he has a lot of combo plays, well, I'll talk about in a second, with Master and with Maiden with the Eyes of Blue. Next up, guys, we have Maiden and Master with the Eyes of Blue. So Maiden is very good. The deck is a very offensive juggernaut if you guys haven't played Blue Eyes before, but it has really no defensive plays. Maiden gives you defensive plays. A lot of people don't like running her because she's very slow, but she can do so many cool combo plays in the deck that just throw your opponent off key and they just don't see coming. Also, she can bide your turn with 2, and sometimes that can be very crucial in a duel, especially if you're top decking. She's amazing. Master is a very good card. He can help recoup losses. You can, when he's normal summon, you can add a level 1 light monster from your graveyard to your hand, which is really nice. So sometimes I'll add a Sage back from the graveyard or Effect Veiler back from the graveyard, just depending upon how I'm feeling in the situation of the duel. Sometimes I'll add a White Stone of the Ancients back to my hand, but it's up to you what you want to add back to your hand. The other effect, which I really like, is when he's in graveyard, you can target one effect monster on the field, shuffle him back into the deck, and then you can special summon from your graveyard 1 Blue Eyes White Dragon from the graveyard to the field, which is really nice. So let's go over some of these combo plays I was talking about earlier. So we're going to talk about Maiden and Master. So let's say we have a Blue Eyes, Vanilla, and a Master in the graveyard, all right? So I have Sage on the field. I use Sage's effect, okay? I searched a card. I now activate Master's effect because Master's in the graveyard, targeting my Sage with the Eyes of Blue, sending Sage to the graveyard, and getting a Blue Eyes White Dragon out on the field. Simple as that. Just helps you get a Blue Eyes on the field. And it can help you, depending upon if you have like a alternative, helps you go for synchro, exceed plays, things of that nature. Now let's talk about Maiden with the Eyes of Blue, which I really love. So this combo I love with Maiden and Master. They go together like peanut butter and jelly. So if Master's in the graveyard, you can target your Blue Eyes White Maiden, okay? Maiden's effect will kick off, so you can get a Blue Eyes White Dragon out of your deck, hand, or graveyard. Then Master's effect will kick off, bringing the Blue Eyes White Dragon from the graveyard. It could be Blue Eyes Spirit Dragon as well. It doesn't matter if I mentioned that already. Maiden will go to the graveyard, but you will now have, for which you had 1 level 1 tuner. Master will go back in the deck, you know, basic things like that. But you'll have 2 Blue Eyes White Dragons with the help of just 1 Maiden and an effect engrave, which is amazing. The one other reason I like Maiden is because there's different ways of targeting her and getting her effects off. And overall, she's just a versatile card to have, I found, from playing this deck for a while. Is sometimes what you'll do is you'll have the Maiden, and then you'll have the Sage with the Eyes of Blue in hand. You can target the Blue Eyes White Maiden with his second effect that nobody knows. You can target the monster Maiden. They'll both go to the graveyard, and then you can get 2 Blue Eyes White Dragons out on the field. And one can be will have to be the vanilla one, like Maiden, because Maiden's effect. The other one can be a Spirit Dragon as well. Doesn't matter with Master or with Sage. It can be, I believe, Spirit. But yeah, very, 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 very good combos with those 2 guys. Next up, we have our hand traps, which is 1 effect veiler. Like I said, you can reuse this through Master's effect, which I do a lot. And then you have 2 Max C. Pretty much this is all you really need. Max C is really good this format, so that's why I'm running 2 Max C in the deck. If you don't want to, you could cut it out because the deck, like I said, is at 42. So you could cut the max C's out if you want to make it a 40 card deck. Just saying. But that's up to you. Next up, we have our 3 Return of the Dragon Lords. It's your Reborn card of the deck. It's an amazing card just in general to have. And also, I should mention very quickly that it's probably one of the best cards in the deck. And if anything ever gets hit, this card will get hit. But when you have this card in your opening hand and you have the opportunity to activate it right away and have it in the graveyard, because it will make your opponent have to waste resources getting around your big dragons, because this gives you protection for your dragons. So just going to say that. We also won 1 Silver's Cry. Silver's Cry is a very good card in the deck as a 1-of. Some people like running multiple if they're running Desires. Me personally, I just like running 1-of. That's just me. But it's very good because it's a quick play spell and gives you versatile moves. As well, it's just a good card to have and gives you reborn things. And in phase, you could reborn back your Spirit Dragon, pop a card on the field. Different things of that nature, guys. Just very versatile plays. Next up, we have your 3 Trade-In. Trade-In's probably one of the best cards in the deck. Again, there's a lot of good cards in this deck. But Trade-In, it's literally sets up your graveyard with your level 8 dragons, which is awesome because then you can use Return the Dragon Lords and things of that nature, and Soul Charge. And you also get to draw 2 cards deeper into your deck. So you're setting up your grave and drawing more cards deeper into your deck. Amazing card. Staple as a 3-of. Hands down, 3 Trade-In, guys. 3 Trade-In has to be a staple. Then we run 3 Melody of the Awakened Dragons. Melody is not as good as it would be in Blue Eyes Chaos Max, because you can add Blue Eyes Chaos Max to your hand. But it's very good because you can send your stones to the graveyard or your master to the graveyard to get their effects off, or use their effects. And you get to add your Blue Eyes White Dragon and your Blue Eyes Alternative Dragon to your hand. I can't find alternative right now. Your Blue Eyes Alternative and Blue Eyes White Dragon to your hand, or sometimes if I have multiple Blue Eyes White Dragons already in hand, I'll pitch one of them and add double alternative to my hand. That way I can constantly maybe pump out 2 alternatives in 2 turns. So it's really nice for those type of plays right there. Next up, we have our 2 Dragon Shrine. Some people don't like running the Dragon Shrine. I love it because it sets up my graveyard. So one little cool play you can do along with Trade-In, which is one of my old staple plays I've been doing in this deck ever since the original Blue Eyes Structure deck dropped out like 2 years ago, is your send. If you have Trade-In and Dragon Shrine in your opening hand, you're golden, because you can activate Dragon Shrine, send the Vanilla or the Blue Eyes Spirit Dragon to the graveyard. Alright, this guy. Send the Blue Eyes White Dragon to the graveyard, the White Stone of the Legends to the graveyard, add a Blue Eyes White Dragon to your hand, and activate Trade-In, sending the Blue Eyes White Dragon to the graveyard. So I've thinned my deck out by 3 cards and also drawn 2 cards deeper into my deck. It's amazing with that combo play. But also Dragon Shrine, you can send things like the White Stones of the Ancients just to get effects engraved. So you can thin out your deck even more so by using things like sending a Blue Eyes or sending a Spirit and then sending White Stone of the Ancients to the graveyard. So the end phase, you get a monster on the field, and just it sets up your plays and combos. And if you get this with Soul Charge, it can be so nutty and so crazy. So very good card. It usually starts becoming dead by turn 3, turn 4, but very good card. Helps you get your engine going. 2 Twin Twister helps send things to the graveyard to get their effects off, like your stones, your master, your Blue Eyes, to set up for combo plays, as well as just clearing back row and getting rid of pendulum zones. So very good card in the deck. 1 Pod Desires, 1 Cards of Consonance, and 1 Soul Charge. Soul Charge is a win condition in this deck. You set up your graveyard. You can use, sometimes use Soul Charge first turn on my turn when I came in attack, and I just set up an unbreakable board my opponent can't come back from just first turn. Very powerful card in this deck. Cards of Consonance, I love it because you can use Sage's effect, add a White Stone of the Ancients or White Stone of Legend to your hand, activate this, discard that card to the graveyard, and draw 2 cards deeper into your deck and get the effect of that card hitting in the graveyard. So very, very good card as a 1-of, because you're able to search your White Stone, your White Stones and your stones with Sage. 1 Pod Desires, it's expensive, yes, but I got it for a very, very good deal. And I mean a very good deal. But I like it as a 1 of. I tried it as a 2 of and 3 of just online and testing. I didn't like it. It wasn't for me. But as a 1 of, it's very good. It helps you extend your plays, which is really true, and it helps you dig deeper into your deck and thin out your deck somewhat. I would not run it as a 2 of or 3 of for me because I just don't like it that much, but it does help you extend your plays and just make bigger, badder boards, I guess you could say. Next up, you run your traps, which are your 3 solemn strikes, your 1 warning, and your 1 vanity's emptiness. Pretty, straightforward there for you guys. I love my solemn strikes. In this deck, you just make a big board. The way I like playing it is having a Blue-Eyes Spirit Dragon on the field, having a solemn strike in the back row, having an effect veiler in hand, and just tell my opponent to come at me when it's their turn to go. Or you could go flip the vanities and have a big board and just they can't do anything. So it's up to you the way you want to run it, but I like my traps and I love these traps. Depending upon my matchup, sometimes I'll side cards out to, certain matchups, but I like these traps. On to the extra deck, guys. You run your 1 Seto Kaiba token because it brings you good luck, and Seto Kaiba will shine down upon you and give you good luck. Not make you draw brick hands of Blue Eyes White Dragons when you can't do anything. It happens once in a blue moon. Yes, 2 Blue Eyes Spirit Dragon, 2 Azure Eyes. I usually find myself going into 1 or 2. Your 1 Starter Spark Dragon, and your 1 Black Rose Moonlight Dragon. So let's explain these cards, as well as 1 Crystal Wing Dragon. So let's go over all these synchros here. Spirit Dragon helps you against the meta by stopping card effects and pretty much killing pendulum decks. Azure Eyes gives you protection and the ability to reborn your Blue Eyes White Dragon and Blue Eyes Spirit Dragon. Okay? The other thing Spirit can be used for is for Starter Spark and Moonlight Rose. Moonlight Rose means you can bounce up a monster on your opponent's field pretty much. It's like a compulse on legs, kind of. But the nice thing is sometimes you'll use Spirit on your turn, bring out the Moonlight Rose, okay? Normal summon a level 1 tuner, and then you can go for Crystal Wing, which just can win you duels automatically. So that's how you go for it. I stopped running Michael because literally I was finding myself not going into Michael as much because even though I liked it in the extra deck, I wanted to run other cards, and Michael I just never found myself going for. I found myself going for these 2 the most. The reason why we run Starter Spark Dragon is because you can target your Floodgate cards, your Vanities, your Anti-Spell Fragrances, and other cards out there, and protect those Floodgates while at the same time protecting him because you'll go Blue Eyes Spirit on their opponent's turn, bring out Starter Spark Dragon. Starter Spark Dragon can use his effect to protect himself. He won't blow up by Spirit Dragon's effect. Moonlight Rose will blow up. Azure Eyes won't blow up either. But you can do that, and then on your turn, target your Floodgate cards, and they can't do anything. That's the nice thing about it. But yeah, that is the Synchro monsters we run and how they all work. On to the other cards we run. For your level 8s, 1 Hope Harbinger, broken in this deck. 1 I'll say it's good for ending games. When you're trying to end games and make sure your opponent can't do anything, you stack their deck. 1 Felgrand, I still find versatile uses for a Felgrand in this deck. 1 number 46, Dragulon. I would probably cut Dragulon in the future for Heliopolis, but the reason I haven't yet is because in my area, I'm still running into Red Eyes decks now, Blue Eyes, Felgrand, everything that's dragon based in my area. Everybody just loves dragons in my area, and Dragulon helps me a little bit more than Heliopolis, but when dragon decks stop becoming less popular, I'll go back to Heliopolis, guys. And those are your level 8 you run, but Dragulon helps out in mirror matches and whatnot right now. For me, that is. Then we run your Galaxy engine, or your Galaxy stuff here. You run your number 62, your Cypher, your Galaxy Eyes Full Armor, and your Dark Matter. You can use Cypher's effect if they have an Exceed monster, like say a Lady Beatrice for Burning Abyss. Steal that monster and overlay for Galaxy Eyes Dark Matter Dragon if you'd like to do that. But yeah, guys, that is the deck profile. I hope you guys all enjoyed it. I love Blue Eyes White Dragon. It's an amazing, amazing deck, and hope you got this video was very informational for you. Some things I wanted to mention very quickly, guys, is 2 other cards. You can run Twin Burst if you want to, and the Fable Catsif is a good tech card if you're facing in Game 2 or Game 3. if you're trying to outlight things like Light Imprisoning Mirror and whatnot. It's just a good card because you can just discard it and pop a card. But those are just some other cards I want to talk to you guys about quickly because they come in handy. But till next time, take care, everybody.